If you're going to argue against my position, argue against my position. One of the things that I'm not really a fan of is when people take these conversations to a personal level. We're going against arguments, we're going against policies and corporate BS in terms of talking about these video games. And in my last few videos, I talked about what I think is called the Xbox tax, basically defined as a media bias towards Xbox games, anything that Xbox does, and a favorability towards PlayStation. This is evident in many scenarios, and I've been pointing them out bit by bit in different videos. Now, here's something that was very interesting. Someone came on my channel, Captain Destruction 9332, shout out to you for the comment. They said, the moment I see something as stupid as Xbox tax, in parentheses, a way of coping with Xbox releasing mediocre games that are covered accordingly being the keyword, ladies and gentlemen, keep this in mind, I'm reminded of the Metacritic Publisher of the Year award Xbox got a couple of years ago. Metacritic involves the top media sites voting, or the 5+ years of Xbox 360 having hit after hit, both review-wise and success sales-wise. People can't explain this gap or award if there is in fact a tax. This narrative was created by fanboys once Xbox was cooked over their dumb mistakes after Xbox One and the focus on mediocrity. Is there some media bias or small examples you can point to? Sure. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that what I just defined as the Xbox tax and I also defined in my other video? This is a dishonest statement for the most part, but then here's this thing that made me kind of said, all right, sure, but that's media. You're going to have preferences or places harder on certain products than others. Don't prove a mass conspiracy against Xbox by hundreds of independent review sites. Sir, I just want to tell you, you literally have just indirectly called me a conspiracy theorist. Now, I'm going to take it personal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take time to create an entire playlist on YouTube that I'm naming Xbox Tax, of which these hundreds of media preferences I will then find and heap in multiple videos so that we can actually clearly see it collated and archived. Now, I'm doing this not because, this is upsetting to me. No. In fact, these videos were a trap. You see, I like to kind of lure a lot of these PlayStation, loyals into these kinds of things. Sorry, guys. It's the internet. We're having fun, and it's just conversations. Relax. But I like to really bait you guys. I mean, because y'all, you guys are fun. To bait. I'm sorry, but y'all make it too easy. And so when I made the video Xbox tax, I knew that somebody was going to come in with some kind of crazy off-the-cuff response saying this is stupid, blah, 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 and, all of this stuff. And most of this talk about Xbox tax and the people justifying it, because this was a justification, is simply because they're mad at Xbox for not releasing games that are good as last-generation Xbox. Look at another comment. The Xbox tax is not having a banger game in over a decade. I'm not talking about Xbox not having a good game over a decade. Over a decade ago, I was playing PlayStation games. What are you guys talking about? You guys are arguing a whole different thing that I'm not arguing. This is what's called the red herring. You just pick something random and start arguing it when I'm not arguing it. You're basically distracting from the position that I'm laying out. Hence, part 3 of the Xbox tax. PC Gamer put out a post. The post said, the eagerness to grave dance on unpopular games has become a bad habit. Then they write a whole article. In fact, PC Gamer I had blocked. I had to unblock it because I saw the screenshot from this individual here on Twitter. Archangel is on Huffman Island, and I thought this cannot be true. And right underneath one of the replies, somebody said, this you? Of which was an article from just last year, almost around this time, where they said more people are playing 2017's Prey than this year's Redfall on Steam. And the latter's player count fell all the way to 2 players last Sunday. I had to come see it myself. Literally, this person pulled this tweet that they had, and it's right here. This you? And I haven't even clicked it yet. I can click it and we can see. Goodness gracious. Check this out. The first comment under this says, I thought so. It's rubbing salt in the wound for Redfall since Prey is a single-player game, given how good Prey was. So what is PC Gamer doing here if it's not grave dancing? Perhaps it may not be grave dancing, but it's some kind of gyration in their minds that this particular game is, in a sense, not providing what it is that they would prefer for it to provide at the end of the day. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Xbox tax, basically the media bias against Xbox, this is my definition, and the favorability towards PlayStation is a reality. I am not arguing with these folk that are coming here telling me that Xbox did not release a banger in 10 years. What do I care? You see, at the end of the day, I've told y'all before, I could not care at all if Xbox or PlayStation vaporized. I'm a PC gamer through and through. My biggest influences in gaming were from the PC back in the day. Commandos, Tomb Raider, all those games we played on PC. I eventually jumped into console when I enjoyed what I saw on PlayStation 1. So you can categorize me as a pony, actually. And I think this is probably why my arguments to PlayStation really offend a lot of PlayStation folks. You shouldn't be offended about these arguments. It's just arguments against a corporation. Don't defend them. However, when you try to be dishonest and you try to recategorize the argument into something that it's not, I can sniff that nonsense out. And I'm like, no. You don't redefine something that I already defined that is clearly visible. Something that even you admit to. Like in this comment here. Is there some media bias and he said small examples? Ooh, small. That's called downplaying. And so again, the dishonesty kind of gets to me in a sense. And so what I want to do is I want to invite you guys who are at least trying to be objective. You don't have to be of any, preference in terms of your gaming, because I know there's some PlayStation folk who actually see this nonsense and are upset about it. They see it and they come in my comment section. They talk about this stuff. These are just gamers. They see this and they're like, man, yeah, the media bias is crazy. And you know what this affects the most, actually? At the end of the day, it affects the consumer. It affects the gamer who is looking to make an informed decision. Because all this talk about Xbox did not release a banger in 10 years, and all of you carrying all of this grudge against the company that doesn't know you exist, is so weird, by the way. I just keep seeing it. And it's from PlayStation fans. They didn't release a banger in 10 years. Their Xbox One generation was so bad. Well, you're playing on the best possible platform you thought was best for you, so why are you upset about the past? I mean, it's just so weird, bro. Right? Like, again, it's so strange when it's all said and done. Now, keep in mind, I wouldn't play Redfall. And I've said this before. Like, it doesn't matter what you try to do. You can give it to me for free. I won't play it. As much as I'm a huge vampire lore theme fan, won't touch it. Live service game, very picky with those things. I've played only one in terms of the shooter category, and that one's already way too much for me. The Division and the Division 2. Played that one like crazy. In terms of fighting games, there I'll play, because PvP is where you kind of show your stuff. But you're not gonna see me play many live service games. Concord, I wouldn't touch. Even if they were both remarkable, stellar games coming out the wazoo, bursting out in flames with all kinds of praises, you won't see me touch it. However, the bias is exactly what I want to pinpoint. And now, I think we need to dedicate time to see this, because this is corruption. I mean, as much as I use these words and I throw them around, because it's video games doesn't mean people aren't affected. This is corruption. Developers are on the end of this stuff, folks. I'm telling you, people's livelihoods are on the end of. I mean, did Arcane Austin got closed? I mean, y'all were playing with it, and then the whole dev studio got closed. And some of you've said to me that dev studios, I saw it in your Suicide Squad comments. You guys were so wrathful against Suicide Squad. You were like, you would be happy if a development studio closed down if they made a game that you didn't like. You've said it before. You can look through my comments. I have a whole playlist of this stuff. And I make these videos because I really want to hear what's in the minds of some people when I'm like, man, that's kind of cold, bro. And so for PC Gamer to lose every sense of professionalism, which doesn't seem far for them, wow, this is quite disappointing. And we're only on number 3. And we haven't even gone too far. We're just like in September of 2023. You see what's crazy? I don't even have to go do any digging. That's the beauty of this. I'm just going to just say, okay, let's all sit and watch and see this bias continue to play out. The more you keep trying to downplay it, the more I continue to point it out and make videos of exactly what it is that we're seeing. All right, let's fasten our seatbelts. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys' time and audience. For those who continue to refute what is right before them, even while proving what is right before them, I say good luck.